Hello and welcome. I'm Smriti Chaudhary, and today we're going to talk about another corporate battle brewing between Religare and the owners of Dabur, the Burman family. And to talk about it, we have with us Mr. Shriram Subramanian, MD and founder at InGovern. Welcome and thanks for joining us today. Now, just to give you an overview, the Burmans had previously alleged multiple violations, one of them being insider trading norms by Religare's executive chairperson, Rashmi Saluja. They've also alleged a really high compensation of about 150 crore. However, InGovern came out with a report yesterday pegging that number at 480 crore. Let's get some clarity on this. Sir, do tell us about what you found out in your investigation, and what kind of probe are you expecting?
Journalists asked us as to why the board of Religare is opposing the Burmans coming in. The SEBI SAST regulations, actually, there's a mandatory open offer triggered when any shareholder increases more than 25%. In this case, the Burmans have increased their shareholding by up to 25%. So that's the reason the open offer has gotten triggered. But why is then the board of Religare opposing? So there has to be some vested interest. This happened in 2019 also, when the famous hostile takeover of Mindtree by L&T. So similar is the case here. And so we looked at the compensation of Dr. Rashmi Saluja, both at Religare and its material subsidiary, which is Care Health Insurance. And we noticed that options worth rupees 250 crores have been issued at Care Health Insurance, though IRDA, which is the insurance regulator, had specifically rejected that proposal by Care. But yet, Care went ahead saying that it is issued to Dr. Saluja as an employee of Religare and not as a director on the board of Care, which is a specious argument, so to say. So from that perspective, we hope that IRDA and SEBI both investigate these matters, because compensation disclosure and issuing also impacts the policy holders of Care. The shareholders of Religare have been kept in the dark, and shareholder approval and disclosures in the annual report are very, I would say, very sketchy.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the compensation. Now, we got a response from Mr. Pratap Venugopal, who is an independent director at the material subsidy that you mentioned, the Care Health Insurance. And he says that part of that compensation is only counted when the shares vest. However, the 480 crore number that you've given, how is that calculated? Do give us a breakup of that.
Yeah, this is not the compensation per se. The 480 crore is the value of all the options over that vests over 3 years, say. So that is fine. I mean, what Pratap Venugopal is saying is also correct. But the fact is that 480 crores is the value of the options which are being granted to her, which will over a period of the next 3 years. That is where they are opposing the Burmans coming in, right? I mean, at the end of the day, why are they opposing? Because they have not made full disclosures. Our report actually gives out chronologically the timelines on which Care gave all approvals, and Religare also got approvals. IRDA did not give an approval. In May 2022, IRDA sent a rejection letter. They went ahead and issued 2.2 crore options to Rashmi Saluja. We are not saying that this 480 crores is a compensation. We are saying that is the total value of options which are being given.
All right, fair point. However, Religare did say the independent directors, according to a media report, the independent directors of Religare have written to SEBI and RBI and other regulatory bodies alleging fraud by the Burmans. How are you viewing this? Is this something that's important to look into at this juncture?
It's not clear what is the basis of their allegations, because the shareholding of the Burmans, 21% as of now, going up to 25, automatically triggers a mandatory open offer. And Burmans are not some unknown underworld people who have just joined or come in. They have been businessmen. So to that extent, the independent directors or Religare has this one to question the source of funds, and the Burmans have been quite candid about it. So the SAST regulations are very specific and they are very procedural in nature. So to that extent, just saying that there is fraud, there is this one, what is the basis is not clear.
Right. In this response by the independent director, they also say that they do not need to ask for permission from IRDAI in such a case. Instead, they can just pass a the board can pass a fresh resolution. How do you see this in terms of legality?
Yeah, I think that is a specious argument. Firstly, in December 2021, Care Health Insurance specifically sought IRDA's approval. And in May 2022, IRDA has specifically sent a rejection of their and said this one. The IRDA regulations also specifically says that not more than rupees 10 lakhs should be given to non-executive directors. Rashmi Saluja is a non-executive director on the board of Care. This regulation, what is the principle behind the regulation of IRDA? That is to protect the policy holders. That is to say that the policyholders do not pay excessively for compensation to non-executive directors who have no role whatsoever beyond just attending board meetings. So from that perspective, why did CARE issue 250 crore worth of options to Rashmi Saluja? Yes, the company's board may have gone ahead and given, but IRDA specifically sent a rejection, and that is not in the interest, and that is for IRDA to take a call. If anything, CARE and Religare has to go to IRDA and again seek that approval, which they have not done.
All right, fair point. In the report, you also mentioned the transaction of the independent directors with the company itself. Could you shed a little bit of light on what kind of transaction these are?
So many of the one of the independent directors is in a company which has subscribed to 160 crores worth of NCDs issued by Religare, etc. So these are pecuniary relationships with where the independent directors have. I would say they are promoters of those companies. So to that extent, they have conflict of interest, and the Companies Act is very specific on thresholds at which independent directors lose their independence. So we are questioning whether they are truly independent because of this conflicts that they have.
So they have subscribed to Religare's debentures. Is that what you're saying? The promoter companies.
Yeah.
All right.
The independent directors companies have subscribed to the NCDs of Religare.
In the response by Mr. Venugopal, the independent director, he also gave a list of people who have also received such ESOPs. One of them being Sunil Kodwani, the former chairman and managing director of Religare Enterprises. And they mention other people like the group CFO, CEO, chief people officer, and multiple other people. There's a list of 13 people, I suppose. How do you view this? So the basic argument that they're giving is that allotment of such options to Rashmi Saluja is not out of the ordinary, or it's business as usual for the company. How do you see this in terms of the legality of it? Yeah, go on, sir.
It also depends on the quantum, right? The 2.9 crore options were issued by CARE, out of which 2.2 has been given to Rashmi Saluja. So that's like almost 70-80% of the options were given to Dr. Rashmi Saluja.
All right. I was also looking at Rashmi Saluja's profile, and from what I see, there's not a lot of financial services experience in hand. I wanted to understand in this case, the appointment was also approved by RBI. Do you have any views on such an appointment? Just to go back a little in the history and when she was appointed.
No, we don't have any views, because at the end of the day, she was an independent director on the board of Religare for whatever reason. She came in, and then subsequently, when the company went into doldrums, she took an executive role as an executive chairperson. And at the end of the day, the fortunes of the company have changed, right? So to that extent, there is credit to what she has done or what her team has done. But beyond that, yes, the company needs to step up now. So that's a different matter altogether, right?
All right.
We are not questioning her credentials or her this one. She and her team may have done a good job in turning around the company. Yeah.
Yes, there has definitely been a turnaround. Thank you so much, Mr. Shriram, for joining us and for such an insightful conversation. And viewers, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more to BQ Prime.